All right, guys. I have a very fun episode, at least for me, because I get to talk to somebody, even though I'm not Japanese, somebody that can talk about the parts of Japanese culture that maybe a lot of people don't know about or talk about. And I cook karaage. I tried to make a braised pork with that finally finished. And we're going to talk about renting a family and making a movie about renting a family in Japan, because that's the movie with HIKARI, the director, filmmaker, creator of Rental Family. So stay tuned, and we have a lot of good cooking tips and tidbits about Japan and all the weird things. Not weird, idiosyncratic. Welcome to the Dave Chang Show, part of the Ringer Podcast Network, presented by Major Dome Media. Thank you, Yola Tengo, as always. So you're gonna see me later give you a recipe about how to make karaage. You're gonna see me make, it's not really kakuni, but it's something similar. It's braised pork that's got a lot of ginger and garlic in it, and soy. I'm gonna make some rice. I'm gonna make like a pickled salad, and we're gonna get an Ask Dave, and then we're gonna talk to HIKARI, who's dropped by today. Tried to make her something that was Japanese, easy to make, a little bit based on what you might get at a convenience store. Yeah, that's that. In about 25 minutes, HIKARI's gonna show up, and she's gonna be expecting to eat. And to young David's surprise, producer David, I'm gonna cook more dishes than expected.
Shocking.
So shocking. And I'm gonna get some rice soaking right now. So this is about a pint of rice, so 2 cups. And the way I like to measure this is, if it's in a rice cooker or like a pressurized rice cooker, I usually go 1-to-1 with a short grain ratio of short grain to water. Since I am cooking it in a donabe, which has a lid, and if you don't have a lid, I would wrap this in a towel, like so, and then just put a regular lid or a pot like this, Le Creuset, and you just want to capture the steam. So this really helps circulate the steam and then bring it back down. So I'm gonna soak this for about 10 minutes or so. Usually I'd want to soak rice 20 minutes to 30 minutes before I actually start cooking it. I think it really changes the texture in a nice way. So I'm gonna remind myself to do that. And because HIKARI is Japanese and this movie that she's making is about rental families in Japan, felt that it might be an opportunity to just make karaage, something I've actually never made for the show, for the podcast, or our LG channel. So I'm just gonna get started on that right now. And the beautiful thing about making this fried chicken, this Japanese fried chicken, is that you don't have to marinate it too long, and you can be done in 25 minutes. But you can marinate this a little bit longer. My concern with marinating it a little bit too long, is that it starts to actually like change the texture of the chicken. This is also a chicken dish that only works with really dark meat. You can do it with white meat, but white meat just doesn't produce really good fried chicken when it's not off the bone. I think fried chicken that is white meat is good on the bone when it's freshly done, and you cook it very quickly. I mean, listen, it'll still be delicious, but it's better with dark meat. Dark meat has more fiber, just more muscle tissue, more sinew, things that make it more forgiving when it's fried, and just a better texture in general. But I think fried chicken is only better when making it as a chicken tender. So I'm gonna just roughly cut this up into bite-sized chunks. And I'm not gonna peel the ginger either. Well, maybe just a little bit. And this is the marinade. It's pretty simple. Garlic, ginger. And to be honest, I've never even seen a karaage recipe, so I couldn't tell you if this is actually accurate. I'm sure somebody watching will be like, this is not how you do it. Pureeing ginger is always a tricky proposition because it is so fibrous that it gets strands in it. I don't really mind here because if this was a proper dish where I'm incorporating a sauce or it's a dipping sauce, I would brunoise and chop it very finely. Here, I'm just trying to extract the flavor. I'm gonna put garlic. I don't know why I have an onion there, but it's there. Soy sauce. I'm gonna put sugar via agave. You could use regular sugar. Some mirin. So it's sweet rice cooking wine. And some cooking sake. If you don't have cooking sake, you don't even have to add it. But cooking sake is basically just shitty sake. I add sesame oil because it's a little has Korean flavors. This is how I make it for my kids. This is it. Very gingery. The beauty about making karaage is you don't have to really season with salt and pepper. There's so much sodium, there's so much umami in the soy sauce that it's going to properly season the chicken no matter what you do. The only caveat here is you can make it too salty. I'm going to add a little MSG. And that's it. Sometimes I might add a little chili pepper, gochugaru, or sometimes togarashi or anything. But this is effectively the recipe that I make for my kids. And we'll see if Hikari likes this. The good thing about this is, fried chicken usually is in some kind of batter, some kind of marinade, buttermilk, not always, but a liquid which allows you to dredge it. So it needs to be marinated in something. So I'm just going to set that aside. And again, this is 10 minutes marinade, maybe 15 tops, but you could easily do 2 to 3 hours. You could easily do longer, but again, I think it changes the texture of the chicken. So I'm not going to do that. We had last week done on Dinner Time Live ramen, and we have all this pork shoulder, pork chunks, pork neck, and I hate seeing things go to waste. So I'm going to see if I can make kakuni, which is my grandfather's, who was Korean but raised in Japan, favorite dish, but he did it mostly with pork belly, and I'm going to try to braise this as quickly as possible with very similar ingredients. And let's see here, I might just use regular sugar here. And you'll find that in Japanese cuisine, as is in Korean cuisine or even Chinese food or Asian food in general, the same ingredients repeat themselves throughout over and over and over again. But you can say that with French food, Italian food. It's just the building blocks that I find are very similar in Japanese food. It's sweet, it's smoke, it's salt, and umami, clearly. Put some soy in here. Quite a bit. I'm gonna add the rest of this garlic and a lot of this ginger. Ginger and pork is one of those magical combinations, and I feel that the flavor of ginger masks. I don't think that hides the flavor, but sometimes pork can have a very, astringent isn't really the right word, but I always think of it as astringent because it can be so pungent, and ginger really masks that in a, not a negative way, but it balances it out. This ginger's gone bad, but I'll just use this bit. And I have this onion. We're gonna add a little bit more sugar. And a few grinds of cracked black pepper, a little water. And normally I would cook this in another donabe. I don't know if this is gonna be done in 25 minutes, but we'll see. One reason why I like cooking karaage in general is at home. It's probably the one fried chicken I do cook quite often because this is a big pot, but you might see me cooking something like this. And you know what? I'll just change it in there. So it's realistic. The reason why, and if you've been watching the show or listening to me a long time, I don't like frying at home mainly because it can stink up the house of grease. And I don't know too many homes that wouldn't happen. So pan frying or doing a shallow fry is way more sort of economical in a cleanup sense than doing something like this. And this is not that much oil. This is probably one bottle of a canola oil you might get at a restaurant, at the supermarket. How I like to cook rice at home is usually in my kuku, which is the kuku is the Korean rice cooker. The Japanese variant is called jojiroshi. I'm partial to the kuku. We have those here at the studio. But I find myself cooking rice in a donabe quite often. I have the same version of this donabe, again, specially designed for cooking rice. You can cook other things in it, but I make sort of rice in a donabe with salmon or mushrooms. This is usually cooked maybe 2 or 3 times a week in my household because I can flavor the rice with dashi or some kind of stock, soup, anything that's flavorful, and then sort of turn this into a very easy dinner. And we have done so many versions of this over the years. So rice cooking, and I wash this just enough where the whole idea is you're taking as much starch out as possible because it'll help cook more evenly and not get so glutinous because of the starch that washes off from the rice. And sometimes very rarely, but there's sometimes pebbles or debris in your rice, so you want to wash that thoroughly. And this is just how I like to do things here. I'll cook this like this for about 12 minutes, depending on the volume of rice. So I'm assuming this is going to be 12 minutes. Once I start to see it steam, then I will turn off the high heat and put that to sort of a low to low medium heat until water is gone. You can get really good at cooking this rice and never open up the pot. And you really don't want to open up the pot at all because the whole point of this is to capture the steam to help accelerate the cooking process. I don't even know what temperature this is. What are we supposed to fry this at, like 350? I make this a lot. I really do. Mainly because it's easy, it's flavorful. I put this in my kids' lunch boxes the next day. You might see karaage in izakayas. You see it in American restaurants, whether they're Japanese influenced or not, a lot. Because it's a simple pickup and crowd pleasing. In terms of a sauce, I almost never see karaage with maybe the exception of maybe a mayonnaise sauce, but I don't see it as a dipping situation. Usually you might see it in a bento box with rice and maybe a small salad. I looked in our fridge here and all I have are some scallions, so I might just make a scallion and daikon salad to pair with this. Fried foods in general in Japanese cuisine, with the exception of tempura, I actually like eating it with really finely shredded cabbage, something you see if you go to a tonkotsu house, which is the fried pork chop. But we don't have that, so we're gonna make do, and that's what we do here. I'm gonna give this a quick rinse. But the reason I fell in love with karaage to begin with is it's not something my grandfather, who effectively raised me, my grandmother and my grandfather on my mom's side, because my parents were always working, and they were living in a retirement community. And that's really where I learned a lot about my affinity for Japanese food. My grandfather did not love Korean food, really not at all. He preferred eating Japanese food. And I mean, I've told this story so many times, but it is worth repeating. There was some Japanese restaurants in the Washington, D.C. area, and we would take a bus, the Metro bus, and I'd go on with my grandfather, and we'd go on sort of eating lunch excursions to eat Japanese cuisine. And I don't even think my parents realized that I was consuming as much Japanese food as I was. And he spent a lot of time trying to teach me all about it. So to this day, when I get to Japan, for whatever reason, I feel a little bit more at home than I do in Korea. It also helps that in Korea, when I did live there, they treated me like total shit. Much nicer now, but in the mid-90s, Korea was still concerned with foreign-born Koreans, and I understand. They basically would look at foreign-born Koreans as sellouts, people that abandoned them during the hard times, even though I had nothing to do with that. I was born in America, and not much I could do about that. But when I got to Japan, that first time, I lived in Izumi Tottori, which is a very southern town. It is, I always consider this the Jacksonville, Florida of Japan. Hot as fucking shit, super humid. Rice paddy was my backyard. There was a ramen shop that proved to be really influential, which is why I got into ramen to begin with, because I only ate there once. But I would see these queues line up every day for this tonkotsu style broth, because if you get to the southern part of Japan, it's much more pork influence, very heavy. And there was a supermarket, there was a gyoza shop, and there was a Lawson's. And I was teaching English at the time, and I did not want to live there. I had specifically asked to be stationed in Sapporo, where it was a cooler climate, and they fucked me. And every day I would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner pretty much at Lawson's. And that proved to have, it was a seminal moment in my career or my life, because I was eating really well. I felt really well at a basically convenience store. And I preferred eating there in a lot of places, because I would get these bento boxes. I would get nikumans, which are basically the steamed sort of pork buns that are enclosed. I'd get instant ramen or whatever. And I was eating really well. I felt I was eating really well. And that was like a holy fuck moment, because in America, you could never do that. And still, you can't do that, which is why 7-Eleven today is trying to adopt a lot of the lessons they've learned in Japan, because the 7-Elevens in Japan are fucking amazing. If I didn't live in that town and eat as many meals as I did in Lawson's and have as many sort of karaage bento boxes, I don't think I would be making the food I am today. Full stop. So very grateful. We have a very old daikon, radish. I'm not going to use all of it. So I hear this rumbling, and I'm going to turn it down. I want something acidic to eat. Usually if I served it with cabbage, it would be plain, and I might make like a bulldog sauce, which is basically ketchup and Worcestershire sauce. But anything fried needs something acidic, which is why fish and chips has malt vinegar. I'm just going to give you a peek into this so we see what's going on. Normally I would not do this, but let that ride. I'm going to put some garlic in here. I have no idea what kind of pickle I'm going to make, but it'll be a pickle. Maybe I'll make it a little bit spicy. I find this to be the most effective way of what I just did in mincing garlic. It's just smashing the shit out of it and almost bending the knife. You're not going to break the knife. A little sugar. Again, I use a lot of agave in my food for stuff like this. It's a perfect example. I love sweetness. Sweetness balances everything out just a little bit, but pickles I feel like definitely need sweetness. And because I wasn't even sure what the fuck kind of pickle I was going to make, I probably used sugar or proper sugar in the pickling marinade mixture if I knew what I was doing. But when I'm making decisions at the last second, it gives me the luxury of using sugar without having to worry about getting the sugar sort of saturated without the crystals. Salt. MSG. Some vinegar. What kind of chili should we put in there? Well, I'll put some chili crunch in. Give this a taste. Pretty fucking good. But when I lived in Japan, I lived in a place called Meidemai. Second time. And this time I came back as a cook. And I was working at a restaurant that was owned by Paul Huang, who was a reverend. I got a visa there, long story. It's a long fucking story. I wouldn't tell you the story. But I was living in a homeless shelter. And it's the only way I could live cheaply. I had my own room, but there was 2 restaurants. There was a ramen shop, and that's why I moved to Japan to learn how to make ramen in 2002. But it was, honestly, I bet you there's like 10 bad restaurants in all of Tokyo. I happened to be working at one of those 10 bad restaurants, and it was fucking disgusting. They didn't use hand towels. They used they used newspapers as hand towels. And I just came from working at one of the most beautiful, sanitary, amazing kitchens to this piece of shit dump, and I couldn't fucking work there. They also had a izakaya in the same floor that was called a-i-u-e-o, right, the Japanese vowels. And that was owned and operated by a Korean woman who was the front of the house and married to a Korean izakaya chef that lost all of his respect and honor because he had a drinking problem. And as many homeless people, one day I should talk about the homeless situation in Japan in general, but you can lose face, you can lose honor, and you're supposed to be disgraced from society. He was an extremely talented chef. And I'd never seen anyone make karaage, and I didn't know what the fuck he was using, because I thought all fried chicken at the time had to be done with flour, AP flour. And I was touching it, and I was like, man, Japanese flour, it's so fucking fine. I can't believe it. Until I realized it wasn't fucking flour, it was cornstarch. And that what makes this sort of such a unique sort of fried chicken is that it's not dredged in traditional flour. You can use potato starch, you can use tapioca starch, you can use cornstarch, and it's very effective and creates a unique crust that if you haven't had karaage before, it's hard to describe. It's just crunchy enough. It's not crackly, it's not sort of a southern fried chicken thing. I think though, if you change the sort of modified starch, you certainly can. Like crisp Tex. I can't remember the blend, but there's things you can do to make it super, super crunchy. I actually think this fried chicken benefits from it not being super crunchy. So just a reminder, I put mirin, sake, garlic, ginger. You can use potato starch. I have cornstarch behind me. And we're just gonna take this directly into the flour and then fry it. I'm not showing you, I burned the fucking shit out of my thumb. I'm trying to be cool, but I'm really in a lot of pain right now. When you burn, you're actually cooking your skin. You're cooking your flesh. So the thing you should do immediately is to put ice on it directly or an ice bath. But if you're tough like me, you just suck it up. No, I'm not tough at all. I'm just lazy. So I'm gonna just start putting this in here, like such. And just start rolling around.
Wow, this is so special.
Hi, Hikari.
Wow, that karaage.
So join with Hikari. Thank you for joining us today.
No, I'm thank you for having me. This is incredible. I haven't eaten for 5 days.
You haven't eaten in 5 days? Come on.
Well, last time I ate was I was in Tokyo 3 days ago, so.
Well, so this is the problem. My concern here is I don't like cooking food for Japanese people.
Why? What?
No, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Why?
Because Japanese people are up there with the most knowledgeable people in the world for cuisine.
On.
No, it's true. And it's not like cooking food I'd rather make like pasta for an Italian person because I know they're gonna hate it anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And the only thing that gives me solace is they could hate anybody that's making their version of pasta. It could be someone in Bologna versus Modena that's 5 kilometers apart. They're gonna talk shit about it. What makes it very difficult for making Japanese food for Japanese people is you can never tell when Japanese people hate something. And not only that, like depending on where you are in Tokyo or Japan.
Right.
At least I feel like more modern Japanese people in Tokyo are a little bit more forward with, they're not like Koreans or let alone Americans that will just tell you right out.
Right.
But when you get to Kyoto, that's a whole different dialect. Same language, but different protocol of like, it could be, tell me if I'm wrong. It'd be like, we have dinner, we meet, and then it's like, I'd love to see you again. Thank you for meeting me.
Yeah.
But that the way I said it could be, I hope I never see you again. You're a horrible human being. Am I right?
So yeah, there's a sign. There's a sign from the old time. If the people in Kyoto says, you visit for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, and if they offer you a tea, bubucha, or I forgot the name of it. If they offer you a tea, that means like don't stay over. Like you're ready, you should go home. But then some people who doesn't know the culture, they're like, oh yeah, sure, because they think that they should stay to have a tea, and that's a weird things that happens that I don't get. It's talking about, you're talking about the people don't show their true emotion. That's a word that's called honne to tatemae, and they just, that's
Kyoto
like deep
is a
in culture.
different league of that. And I know a lot of people in Kyoto are upset because there's too many foreigners that have no fucking idea about any of the protocol. Like, people parking their bike, because a lot of people in Kyoto is a very walkable city, very bikeable city. It's almost European in the fact that you can get away everywhere.
Yeah.
And if your bike, where you park your bike at your apartment, is just like
a centimeter. I mean, people are nice in general, but there's definitely just don't do shit that, excuse my...
No, curse all you want.
Okay, don't do anything that, just know our rules. That's like Kyoto 100%. But how can you know the rules?
Kyoto rules are
I'm from
impossible.
Osaka, I don't even know their rules,
But Osaka, if there's a place and we should talk about this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
People have no fucking idea about Kansai, Kanto region.
Yeah.
Right?
lot.
Japan's divided into two areas, distinct.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of islands, that's the major one.
Right.
Osaka is like the stepchild, right? Of Japan. It really is.
That is
It's
quite
like
accurate.
mostly equivalent to Chicago, I would say. It's industrial. It's modern because everything was bombed.
Yep.
At least when I was there, it was known for everyone was wearing more loud colors. Is that true still?
Yeah. I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm wearing loud color right now.
You hear that, you're like, well, that's not true.
Yeah.
In other cities, and people are funnier.
Yeah.
Most of the comedians in Japan come from Osaka,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, you know it all. Yeah.
Like the funny motherfuckers.
So if you're
That's like Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, is it Chicago?
A lot of comedians come from Chicago. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. If you are at school, right? If you are good looking, they don't survive in Osaka. You have to be funny, and then you become like that. Like, oh my God, he's so funny. We should ask him for a date. Like it's literally the fun. If you're good looking, it doesn't work. And yes, it is a mecca, like the home of comedians. And I wanted to become a comedian actually, like as a teenager. And I really...
It's like the most famous comedians in Japan. If you're a famous comedian, you are like, you're on commercials everywhere, you're hosting talk shows.
Yep.
But they almost always come from Osaka.
Yep.
Born and raised.
Kansai area, Kyoto, Fukushima, usually Hyogo or Osaka. I grew up in the city, like you said, industrial area. But you just kind of have, that's like a survival skill first.
The other thing that people in Osaka get upset about is, and I would say this is the same for every area I've been to in Japan, when it comes to food, they hate the food of Tokyo.
It's just too salty, It just put too much. I remember first time when I went to Tokyo, I was 14 years old. I had udon, and Kansai, the dashi is it's a broth, right? Fish broth. It's very light color. And I walked into this udon shop in Harajuku, and the soup was black, and I had tasted nothing but just soy sauce.
And
what am I supposed to do with this?
That has never changed. It's never changed no matter where I go.
Actually, well, let's give a little bit of credit. Tokyo have got much better.
No. Yes, much better, but still.
Right.
Anywhere you go, especially in Kansai region, anywhere I've been, and you talk to chefs, they'll inevitably they respect, but they're like, they can't taste anything. They only taste shoyu and shio. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Right.
I know people are like, whatever. I don't even know what the analogy would be in America because there's consensus is that the food in Tokyo is one note. It's too salty.
And it comes with also the temperature, the way where the city is located. They were traveling a lot, and in Japan, Osaka is called kitchen of Japan, right? There's a port, so there's a lot of ship would come in. That was the main port for any kind of transaction for food, and so we naturally the food are cheaper, right? In Osaka, we
Bigger
have lots of street food. Yeah, my mom actually owned an okonomiyaki restaurant.
And that's another thing.
Yeah.
Okonomiyaki. People in Osaka are very territorial to okonomiyaki.
We take it very serious.
I'm telling you, I have lived there. I know things that I feel like a lot of tourists wouldn't know. You pick up on things, but okonomiyaki is a big thing, especially street food.
Yeah.
You don't really see it in America. You might see takoyaki, but okonomiyaki.
You're right. Yeah.
Is what is okonomiyaki, and why do Osaka Osaka-jin think it's theirs? It's like owning the cheesesteak. Like the Philadelphia, I don't think the comp is like Philadelphia think they own the cheesesteak, and I think Osaka people, because you get okonomiyaki everywhere, but Osaka people is like, it's our dish.
Serious, yeah. So it comes from Hiroshima to the region from the side of Osaka to Hiroshima. But we called it konamon. It's the powder, the flour, and it's usually a little bit cheaper to make, and that's how people are kind of surviving off of not having enough food, but enough cabbage, enough flour, the base, and it will fill you up.
Barely any pork.
Barely any pork.
Barely any pork. Just pork. 2 strips of basically like bacon.
Yeah,
you know?
And then we have it with rice, which people in
double
Tokyo
starch.
double starch. Exactly.
And then
fill it up, baby.
And Kobe has theirs is with noodles, right?
Where is it?
Which is the one that makes their okonomiyaki with noodles? Kobe?
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Yeah, Hiroshima.
I like that one.
Is that okay? Take a check.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, Hiroshima is really good. And my grandma, she was from Kobe area, which is just Hyogo, just north of Osaka. They have a different way of making it. And the way when we had an okonomiyaki restaurant in Osaka, we did a grandma's style, which is we make it crepe. We put a lot of cabbage, a lot of green onions. And then sujiniku, the edge of the beef. What is that sujiniku called? Anyway, and then we put konyaku, the gray.
Devil's tongue jelly, the jelly.
The jelly, yeah. And the chikuwa, the fish cake, tenkasu, and then just you layer it. And you put the very thin slice of pork, you put the thing over it, and then cook it. So it's much softer than the Osaka style, because Osaka style you make it pancake, mix everything, just which you see in the movie. Yeah.
So my prediction is, not that anyone will really understand Tokyo, the guides, and I think that Kyoto people are just going to kick out all the foreigners. They're so sick of them. They're so sick of them.
I mean, they're not sick of them, maybe.
No, they're sick of them. I think Osaka is going to have the next 10 years of the global attention of Japan, because it's more friendly, more open.
Yeah. I hope so too, because you're right. We love to help people. This is how you can tell the people between you're from Tokyo or Osaka. If you're walking down the street, and this is very, I'm serious about this. If you're walking down the street, you pretend to, let's say you're walking, you're just walking, you grab somebody, and you just pretend you're throwing a sword at them or shooting a gun. And they'll just 1,000% they'll be like, oh, right? Oh, take a beat, but they'll do it. But Tokyo, people just walk away. So naturally, they just want to talk to people. They want to have a connection. And I don't know, it just, again, we were always trying to be a comedian, and who we can make laugh, or if we can make people laugh, that makes us happy. It's we won the lottery. So, yeah, I hope people would, come to Osaka more. And food is great. And people are fun.
It's a lot of fun. I haven't been there in some time, but I was just, before you came, I was explaining to people how I got into, my first time living in Japan was just a sort of crucial and pivotal for me that I could never connect the dots when I was there because I fucking hated where I was. But everything that I ate changed my perception of what food could be, but mostly what I ate was in convenience stores.
Really?
Yeah, because I lived in Izumi Tottori. Do you even know where Izumi Tottori is?
No, Izumi Tottori?
Tottori.
Oh, wow.
South of Wakayama, like 2 hours south of Wakayama.
Yeah.
So I just told them it's like living in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Or even more south of Jacksonville, Florida. Anyway, there was
How long were you there?
Like 6 months.
Wow, okay, that's a chunk.
It's terrible.
In a small time.
It's fucking terrible. It was fucking terrible. I would take the JR to go to Wakayama, to go to the 3rd floor of the department store there and put in 100 yen just to check email because there was nowhere to check email in my town. Facts.
That sounds about right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I fell in love with eating convenience stores, and I really fell in love with eating karaage, the bento boxes.
Yeah.
Because I never had karaage. You know, my grandfather was Korean, but I would say most of my family lived in Japan over the many years. You know, so my Japanese grandfather, my Korean, but he hated Korean food.
He did?
He didn't like Korean food. Wow. He was very Japanese.
Wow. I like Japanese food, but I grew up with Korean Japanese friends, right? Like growing up in Osaka, we have a lot of population of Korean Japanese, and I love Korea. I grew up eating Korean food.
Well, again, another thing I learned is, you know, I think the younger generation is more open to Korean culture. Okay. Older generation, which was 25, not so much. I thought.
Interesting.
And I think that Korean people basically have changed their names so they're Japanese, so people don't even know they're Japanese, or they're running the Yakuza, or they run all the pachinko parlors.
Pachinko parlors.
Facts.
Yeah, facts.
Right?
Smart people. I mean, let's be real, honest. Like, pachinko is everywhere in Japan, and oh my God,
Anyway, eating at that Lawson's was something that I always loved, and I loved eating the tamago sandwiches. And honestly, like, I loved it so much. When we filmed our first Mind of a Chef, we were in Japan, and we filmed it with Tony Bourdain's production company, and they came back and they told Tony, like, hey, Chang just wouldn't stop eating at convenience stores, Lawson's. And the only convenience store I don't like is Natural Lawson's. It's fucking garbage.
Because they're natural.
It's fucking garbage. Anyway, and you can go to, you know, each type of convenience store has, like 7-Eleven to me has the best desserts. And, you know.
And they've been using a lot of good, really good rice on the onigiris, 7-Eleven. They just
everyone focuses on now 1 or 2 things to separate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you guys anymore because I don't want people to know. But I mean, that was the thing. And the whole crew comes back and then Tony's like, why the fuck are you eating at convenience stores, man? Yeah. So when we went to film No Reservations and we did a Cook It Raw there, and it was Renee, Sean Brock, Alex Dahl, all the chefs. And he's like, all right, Dave, like, because he loved Japan. He had never eaten at a convenience store.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, fuck, Tony, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
But think about it. Why would an American in 2006 know anything about eating convenience stores?
Yeah.
Because there was no guidebooks that told you to do so, nothing.
No.
And I was like, Tony, wait till you try this egg sandwich. Wait till you try the bento box. And Tony ate it, he fucking loved it, and he told everybody.
And now
everybody
go get their tamago sandwich.
But I think people would have found out this shit anyway. Yeah. And I really think that if I didn't live in Izumi Tottori, I would never have told Tony Bourdain.
Right. I think it's like because also the Tottori, like the area you lived, it's so countryside.
So
everything
my backyard
closed
was a rice paddy.
Everything closed at 3 p.m. It feels like only thing is that open is convenience store for 24 hours, right?
It was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Did you go there by yourself?
And I didn't speak any Nihongo.
So you taught yourself?
No, I didn't.
You just like,
I didn't.
Fuck it, let's just push it through.
But now I would say my Japanese is better than my Korean. But my Korean is that of like a, if I was a dog, I'd be on TV. You know? Like, wow, this dog understands so much shit, but I'm still a fucking dog. You know? My Japanese is that of like an 8-year-old.
Oh my God. Well, that's
when
good.
I lived
That's
there, it was
good.
really good.
Right.
And my Korean got better. Because there's so many Korean people.
Yeah.
But now it's like slowly fading away
down, yeah.
into nothing. So
I
I'm
mean,
even
you'll
embarrassed.
pick it up. You'll pick
But
it
when
up
I'm
really quickly.
if I'm in Spain or Mexico, Nihongo comes out. When I'm in Japan, Spanish comes out.
Wow, because Japanese people, there's more Spanish-speaking people in Japan, or Japanese, than English.
Well, I think that has little to do with my issue. I'm just dumb. But listen, like I could talk to you all day long. We'll get a little bit more about Japan, but you're here because we met. Where did we meet with
David,
beef?
I think we met David Cho, my bro. He had a dinner party at one point in Torrance. Did you meet there briefly?
Well, with Otafuku. With
Otafuku,
Julia.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Otafuku. そうやそうや。ここ。
Gardena, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, that's right.
That was
It's been a while, but a couple of years ago.
Like halfway through the pandemic.
Halfway through the pandemic.
Right?
Wow. It is true. It feels like forever ago, isn't it?
Felt like a long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
Then we met there.
Right.
And a lot of the beef cast was there.
Yep. Everybody was there. Wow.
Did you tell me you were working on this project that just came out then? Did
I was actually working on a script. We start writing, and I had to take a break to go to. I worked on Tokyo Vice, and then came back, start working again, and then jumped on Beef.
By the way, Tokyo Vice is the real shit.
Oh.
The realest shit.
If I get this.
You know, like as a cop,
Dude.
when people live in New York and they see friends, they're like, nobody lives in a fucking apartment like that on a waitress salary. No fucking way.
Yeah.
When I saw that first episode and the later episodes, and a lot of it's really real with the Yakuza stuff.
Yeah.
But his apartment over the restaurant,
Yep.
I was like,
damn.
that's real.
That's real. And that's a real place too. Yeah. Michael Mann, he really wanted to be as authentic as possible, so he tried to shoot as many, locations and etc.
You guys really nailed what it's like to live there.
Yeah, good.
Not as like a super rich person, but how most people
live. Yeah, exactly.
Which people don't capture in America.
Yeah. And then back then he's using the giant telephone box, the pink one, like put the 10 yen in it, little coin and talk. Yeah, that's quite accurate. It's, that I grew up during that time. I remember corruption between the police and Yakuza. I just remember one time they had this giant raider, they all went down to close down the Yakuza offices because the police wanted to, cover up whatever they're doing, right? Because they're all connected. So when I read that script, it was like, damn, sign me up for this.
Would you agree that if the Western world, and it's hard, I'm not trying to celebrate violence or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, if people knew how fucking crazy Yakuza stories are, it just blows away any of the Italian mob shit here in America.
I wouldn't.
Come on.
Well, but you have to remember, Yakuza originally, how it started it, they were basically picking up kids.
By the way, I
didn't
love
have
all the
parents.
mob stories. I'm just saying, it's underrated. Let me just say, it's underrated.
Underrated. Yeah. There's a lot of Yakuza movies and televisions that I'm sure you've seen, but the reason why I remember is just because it's a corporation. It's a country. Corporations just basically going around the country, right? Set up in every city, and they
Japan
just
cannot operate without the Yakuza.
No.
And that's what I don't think people understand, is that it absolutely is a necessity for Japan to operate, because Japan is all Lady Macbeth, my hands are clean, you do all the dirty shit.
Yeah. And then it's been, I have to tell you, because of what happened during Tokyo Vice, what happened in Tokyo Vice.
I was wondering.
Slowly, now, just recently, 2 days, obviously start cleaning up the streets and no more Yakuza, whatever. But because there's no more Yakuza, it's not as active as it used to be.
They're in hiding.
Now, definitely, like different gangs from around the world or around Asia is sneaking into Shinjuku. This is kind of, I'm getting really dark on this one. But
Let's go there.
So it's like, it's been interesting dynamic to watch, but.
So I would read as much as I could about the Yamaguchi clan and like all the fighting and all the wars they would have with other clans. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy shit.
Yeah.
And like how one person dressed as a woman to assassinate the mob boss of the other clan.
I believe that.
Story's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to commend you. I thought Tokyo Vice was amazing.
Thank you.
Really captured it. And
Thank you.
they're not as visible as they once were.
Nope.
Right? Like now you can have people with tattoos. In Korea too. You would never, ever have a tattoo.
No.
Right?
Nope.
Because what would it signify?
Yeah, it's just
You're-
only Yakuza people had it.
Yeah.
And I have a couple friends who were joined the group and had lost a couple fingers, etc.
Why would you lose your fingers? Maybe people may not always know this stuff.
Oh, okay. Because if you do something disrespectful for the family or your Yakuza member, naturally you have to take your fingers off, as to show the respect that you're committed to be part of this kind of family. But I have to say, there's certain good ones that how he started it, which I always felt it felt right, but they were really helping the kids on the street so that because neglected children without the parents, especially during the after World War II too. So they'll gather those kids to help them and just basically groom them.
So when I lived there in 1999, my Australian boss
99. Okay.
was like,
that's doing around the Tokyo Vice.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it was so meaningful to me.
Yeah.
He's like, do you have any tattoos? And I said, I don't have any tattoos. He's like, good, don't get one. 2, don't get tan.
Don't get that.
I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, if you're really tan and you have like highlights in your hair, that's like Yakuza.
Yeah.
He's like, you're Yakuza or you're a porn star? Oh, I'm neither of those.
I mean, we could have pretended. I mean,
But,
why not? And the aloha shirt. Don't wear loud aloha shirt.
And the other thing I saw, which again doesn't happen today, but maybe you can verify, people would park their cars, or not have, they would just park their cars like on the sidewalk, or like over a median. You know what I mean? Like in a way that was like parked where, it was just like, who would park their car like a total asshole?
Yeah, that's one thing that I hate about. Like they just pull up and they just like always park.
Yeah.
So you have no space. I'm like, can you talk about respect? Can you just respect the space and just park?
But now that doesn't
nicely?
happen. They're all
doesn't happen.
respectable members. Anyway, I've never talked about this in my life with anybody. This is fun.
Oh wow, I can talk
And
forever.
I was so happy actually because I learned that so many of the leaders of these clans were Korean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, there we go.
Yeah. Their parents came, maybe parents or grandparents came from back in the day.
Also, a lot of people don't have a way out of their situation, so they join. I mean, I feel like gangs are sort of the same no matter where you are. It's the one way out to some life that isn't impoverished and terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not why we're here. You were working on Tokyo Vice, and what's the title of the movie that is your new baby?
Oh, sorry.
The movie that you were working on when we met at Otofuku was Rental Family.
Rental Family, yep.
And
That's right.
I'm glad we've been talking about all this idiosyncratic stuff in Japan because I want people to know that this is real.
1,000%. Yep.
What do you mean by rental family?
So it goes, there's so many layers to this business, but rental family basically exists for those people who needs a little bit of companionship, right? And when I was doing the research, I kind of dug in and said why this business exists and why people are using these services. And there's a lot of factors, but basically if you want to rent out, well, let's put it this way. If you had an issue with your family member and you want to kind of fix what happened in the past, but then you can no longer talk to that family member or the person is deceased, then you pick a person who looked like your dad. Let's say you want to rent out your mom, for example. And I'm sorry to hear about your mom.
Oh, it's okay.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
She would have loved to have been rented out.
Yeah. I'm sure. She'd be like, I'll be your mom anytime. No, So if you want to rent out your mom because you remember something very fondly about her, that you miss her so much. And you pick the person, look at the pictures, right? It's kind of like an extra casting webpage. And you find the person and then ask her exactly, do what you ask her to do, and then she'll do it. So let's say, I want you to come in through the door and just, put the bags down and scream my name before he comes and hugs me, right? She'll do it exactly the way she does it. The way you hold the hands, the way you stroke, the way she stroked your hair, used to, you can recreate it. And this actor will come in without breaking the character and do exactly until you ask them to do whatever different, right? But they usually just come in and just be there for you.
Now, do you think that this is, I've never asked, do people in Japan find this to be normal or odd? Or therapy?
So most people in Japan, including myself, I didn't know about this business. I knew about renting a girlfriend.
Well, let's talk about that after.
Right. But I think, so yeah, we can talk about that after. I don't know about it, and I don't think most people don't know about it. Just because if you were renting these people or services, you're using the service, you don't talk about it, right? Again, we kind of keep our secrets to ourselves. So I think most people
So you can just go on like a website.
You can go to a website. You can make a call.
Like Craigslist.
Craigslist. If you don't want to meet that person, the people who owns the business, you can just go in and make a call and just request. And that's the thing about talking about the therapist. In Japan, it makes it a little bit difficult for people, perhaps who are depressed, to have a conversation. Ooh, that looks so good. You're distracting me with this so bad. I'm so hungry.
I didn't marinate this nearly as long, right? So it doesn't have the
okay.
ginger, but
I'm sure it's going to be great.
But please, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. So what I totally forgot. The chicken karaage just took my mind off. So in Japan, traditionally, you can't just make a call and talk to that person about your problems or etc. You have to meet that person. You have to meet them in person in order to use the insurance from the government. And the people who are depressed, sometimes they just don't want people to meet that person because they don't want anybody to know that they maybe have a mental issue, etc. Which is such a weird thing to do. Weird, interesting, but I get it. So this business actually make it a little bit easier.
Would you say that, like, even still in Western society, I feel like we're only now finding not just acceptable, it's okay to talk about, I have issues, I have problems.
Right.
Mental health. Japan, sarcasm doesn't even exist, right?
Yeah.
Nobody
takes sarcasm.
No, it doesn't.
We take everything seriously.
It's like the opposite of British humor. It just doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
I don't think people understand that does not exist.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to express, right? Like these are little things that people don't know. That the idea of asking help is like foreboding.
Yeah, you just don't, And then I think talking about the honne tatemae, honne is to show the true feelings, tatemae is the facades, right? The fact that these words exist, why they exist? Because, culturally we want to live in a harmony. We're village culture, that nobody wants to be, sticking out like a sore thumb. So and then there's another word called 出る杭は打たれる. If you're the person, a nail that's sticking out from the surface,
Tall poppy.
that's gonna hammer you down, right? So that's the, and then that was Japanese, in the Japanese culture in the old time, was considered as a kind of like a beauty, like just being quiet, talk about samurai, being quiet and all that stuff. But yeah, so the whole notion of
Therapy
sharing
exists in ways that I think the Western world would never comprehend.
Right?
It has to come out some way.
Has to come out somewhere. So there's a snack bars. I'm sure you've been there before. Snack bars, there you can sit down and talk. That's a therapy, right? For the people who work every night till late.
Hostess bars.
Hostess bar, exactly.
But rent a girlfriend is a real thing.
It's a real
sounds,
thing.
Again, like it sounds, I was told all these things before I got there. And then you're like, that's weird. And it's still weird to me, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But having lived there, I have a greater understanding as to why. Things have to be transactional because there's no other way for one to express oneself.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, there's so many, because by being doing transactionally, being transactional, is you can, you don't have, you can just like, it's almost like you go in, you commit it for these 2 hours, both of them, and then when they come home, they can go back to yourself and be zen and really enjoy what you just had for the last 2 hours, and then go back to your life. It just, and then the money makes it clean, right?
It's why I think salarymen get so fucking drunk.
And it's also they're very, again, talking about suppressing their feeling. You can't, if the boss said one way, you can never talk back, right? Oh my God.
So this is rice from Hokkaido.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. This is amazing. I'm so, oishisou. Uwa, saiko. Saiankao.
So I just made,
Wow.
I mean, I feel like you have to have anything fried in any cuisine, really. You need something acidic and pickly.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have anything, so I just threw some
Can I dig
daikon
in
and some
this
scallions.
already? Are you gonna have it with me?
Yeah.
Ah, thank you. わ、マジで美味しそう。やば。やば。やば。ありが、oh, you brought your cute piece.
Yeah.
Like a true Japanese.
When I saw this too, I was like, wait.
This is a lot of cute.
I know.
I don't wanna
I'll change it up.
mess up your. Yeah, that's for you. Bro.
But I was like, wait, you're
you.
dipping it in mayonnaise? What?
Yeah, exactly. I like salt and pepper too. Actually, can I get?
Yeah,
You
get
put
some
the salt and pepper, but
Done.
yeah, in a little thing. That's kind of how I like it. Can I just squeeze this baby
Yeah.
out? Okay.
Again,
Here we are.
it needs another hour of marinating.
Well, it's okay. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna do this. And I have to try it. Ah, arigato. Yeah. See?
So, what were you? I mean, it sounds like an asinine question, but
Hold on. Itadakimasu.
what are you hoping the audience will learn?
What am I hoping the audience will learn? You know, I made movie, obviously for the audience, for people to have the experience of 2 hours. Being in Japan, what's it like to be only one, which you experienced? And I also experienced as an exchange student in high school, because I went to high school in Utah. I was the only girl with all this.
How'd you wind up in Utah?
I took a test to go to public school, didn't tell my mom, and when I got it, they said, where do you want to go? And I said, I want to go to the places that I don't see my people, because I really wanted to learn Japanese. They're like, oh, we have a perfect place for you. I was like, where is it? Utah. I was like, what is that? And I went, and I remember flying over Salt Lake City, and I was expecting to see something like the palm trees or like, the Statue of Liberty, because that's the only thing we had back in the 90s, 90s.
Do you think everyone is carrying a gun around too?
No, the first day I landed, my host father, I stayed with the Mormon family. Well, day one, he took me to Walmart, Oh my God, the whole wall was like guns. Why am I even here? Like, gun is crazy. I was like, are these toys? They're like, no, they're real guns. It's like, oh.
That you wound up in Utah because I was like, there's so many Mormons in Japan anyway.
But say it again?
I live with so many Mormons. When I was in
here,
Izumi, Totori, there's Mormons everywhere doing their Mormon mission.
Well, oh yeah. I mean, they go everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, they go everywhere. I mean, you just know because they wear
They're
helmets,
wearing a suit.
The suit, the little, little badge. Itadakimasu. Oh, with a little lemon.
Well, again, to reiterate, I don't like making food for Japanese people.
Why?
Because you guys know so much about food. You really do.
I mean, really. Like we're very simple people. Like we're just simple. We like rice and salt. I remember my favorite thing was like rice and salt as a kid. That was it. And then,
like my favorite onigiri is just onigiri with salt.
Ooh! Whoa! This is so good. See?
Again, I just
Korean people do such a great job with food too. I love it so much. My best friend in elementary school, she was Korean too. Every time when I go her place every day, I just eat rice, seaweed, right? The soup, anything, everything, bibimbap too. That's how I grew up. So I go home and I was like, I want to eat bibimbap. My mom was like, well, I don't know how to make one, so why don't you go back to your friend's house, mommy's house? And I was like, okay. And then, we exchanged.
Do you think that Japan will ever have this cultural revolution? Because every time I've spent time there, or the 2 times that I lived there, so I lived total just about a year. I was like, man, this place needs like a Woodstock. Something that's counterculture, that isn't just a sort of like trickling out of the surface, but something that's full blown. But it never happens.
No, huh?
It always gets buried under the carpet.
Yeah, and I think talking about, again, harmony, right? That's what people still, even though people in Osaka, they still keep that respect for each other. And then sometimes people, I feel that they don't, by not sharing the truth or just keeping in the harmony, by giving the respect, they consider that that's as a love too. Not just respect, but love, not sharing everything because they don't want to burden you with their whole information or your feelings. And just all little things, it just adds up to not being able to really be or come out of the shelf or, be who they are or just doing something completely different just because. I hope so too. But I think so people in that sense, people try to find a different outlets, right? Like fashion is huge in Japan.
That was what the biggest holy fuck moment for me was growing up in America. I could find anybody, especially an Asian person, Korean person. I could find anybody in a crowd of people.
But
when I got there, I was like, everybody looks like me. This is impossible. And then I was like, oh, that's why individual fashion, especially younger people, is so important.
Exactly.
They've learned to express themselves in the tiniest ways that is just, which I think has laid the template for the Gen Z generation in general.
Yeah.
Because everyone's had access to the same things now globally. I think that people are going to customize, individualize their lives, almost like how younger Japanese people have done fashion.
That'd be cool. But exactly what you said it was 100%. That's why I got into fashion in such a young age. I was, we had to wear uniform, right? As a kid,
you go to school,
all the way.
Everyone looks the same.
Right, everything looks the same. Hair is the same. You can't bleach your hair if you go to a certain school, etc. And what you do, you just start wearing something a little bit more funkier, or earrings, or you do your hair differently. And that was a way to express your art through your fashion or through your body.
Oh, okay.
So the fashion is I love it so much. If I didn't become whatever I became, I'll definitely be more getting into that part. But my life has been crazy, so.
You're never going to move back there full time?
I don't think so. I go back to get inspired, or work, obviously, have a meeting and just go get food, etc. And onsen is like my favorite. I can't live without onsen. It's such a healing for me.
You want to tell people what?
Yeah, onsen is a hot springs.
Like real hot springs.
Real hot springs. Japan is made on top of volcanoes. We have the most volcanoes out of all places in the world, and the island just sit on top of it. So that's why we have a lot of earthquakes too. But then because of it, eruption, we have amazing hot springs that really actually cure your body, like heal your, if you have a back pain, etc. Wherever you go, depending on where you which hot springs you use, you actually get healed, and you keep your beautiful skin.
So, Hikari, if we made you not just like the emperor, like you're the new czar of Japan, and you can change anything that drives you fucking crazy about Japan as a country, as a culture,
Right.
what would you change?
Wow, that is a great question.
And it could be something small,
Yeah.
Like for me, just thinking off the top of my head, it was like, stop wrapping my shit. Just give it to me. Stop it. Don't put the box, wrap the box, and then wrap that box in another box, and then wrap that again.
And then put the plastic over because it's raining outside.
Just give it to me.
Just give it to me. Wow, that's so accurate. I get that all the time. Like, you guys are wasting trees at this point. Like, please stop. My goodness, I may have to go deep. I really, if I can change anything, one thing, I really want the Japanese people to be really free.
What do you mean by that?
Because we have been living in this suppressed culture for such a long time, right? I mean, not just Japanese, like I'm sure it happens everywhere too, but I just want everybody to feel like it's okay to express their feeling, express to be who they can be without any restriction.
So,
If that makes sense.
I've had to
It's
look
kind
at
of
Japan
typical.
as, and I think I agree, like there's something that's there that it's hard to put your finger on that has to come out, which is why I was saying there needs to be a revolution, a cultural revolution of some sort. But no country that I know has been bound by thousands and thousands of years of history, right? There is a legacy. I always think about the conversation I had with Murata-san at Culinary in Kyoto, and he's like, yeah, you can change anything you want because you're not 4,000 years old.
No.
We have a responsibility that you guys don't have. So we have to change very measured and slowly.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that's like, right? But, like, I just think about Japan as through food, and I think through food, I would love your opinion on this. India is a caste system.
Well.
I also believe, but a religious caste system. Yes, there's Shinto, but it's not as it's more secular.
Right.
I feel like Japan is a caste system.
Yeah. Right. In a way, yeah.
The only way out is good entrance exam boards, right? If you score well, you're out.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you're sort of fucked.
Yeah. I think there's some, if you talk a little bit deep about it, there's some younger people who struggle with it right now. We have this surface that everybody loves about Japan, come visit. But there's so many younger generations, they're just out of jobs because a lot of foreigner comes to Japan and they take their jobs, right? And the government is supportive of that. And so the younger generation, they're just like living on the street, 19, 20 years old. If you go to Shinjuku, the Kabukicho, the whole area, you see them all on the street. And they all believe, or they feel like they have no support or no help, and they don't even think about it.
Because there isn't support.
There isn't support, exactly.
So I don't know if you know this. So
you're so right about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
When I lived in Japan the second time and I'm cooking, I lived in a homeless shelter.
Oh, wow.
So I lived with homeless people.
Wow.
And I saw a side of Japan that nobody, I think, will ever fucking see.
Wow.
And it was a Korean minister that made a lot of money, and my family's crazy Christians, and that's how I got a visa to cook. He had 2 restaurants on the ground floor. And I lived on a different floor, but everybody I knew. So like when I see Tampopo and all the homeless people, I was like, those are people that I know.
Right, right.
And I was blown away because almost everyone I got to know was highly educated. Like Tokyo University, philosophy professor. He's reading, Kant and like all this German philosophy stuff. And I'm like, why are you reading Heidegger? Like I asked him, like, why are you reading Heidegger? I could see that in German. And he's like, oh, I used to teach that. I'm like, what? I had a drinking problem. And that story, as you know, is like 90% of homeless people.
Yeah.
And I asked Paul Huang, the guy that was operating the whole thing, he's like, why? He's like, because there's no safety net for people that fall out of society.
Yep.
I was like, what? There's no soup kitchens, there's no nothing.
No.
I mean, we can't say anything here in LA or America. It's not that much better.
Right.
But at least there's programs.
Programs, the people can come and say, hey, if you want to support these people, come. You don't even know about those things, And then because regular people, like usual people survive, like in the survival mode, they don't even have a time or space in the mind to help other people. And they're just getting such a vicious cycle, But you're right about that. I know one time I met this one gentleman and he was a professor at Tokyo University, right? And he chose to be.
Tokyo's like the Harvard.
Yeah, Harvard, the highest of the highest university. And he chose to be homeless because of this whole society, the way it was going down. He just didn't agree with any of it. And just one day he just decided to just call it quit. And my friend visited I didn't go, but he visited his place. He had a place under the bridge, made all out of cardboard. He had bookshelves. He had a little drawers that he made, and it was literally like home. And I wanted to go back, but I think he took it down. Like our city came and cleaned up because there was a lot of cleanup of the homeless people back in the day. At one point. So you don't see them.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to talk so much about this because it's going to end this podcast on an extremely sad
note. Yeah, let's not talk about that.
But if you spend enough time there, and you get past sort of the plastic facade of things, it's dark as fucking shit.
Yeah, it is.
Super dark. Mm-hmm. So that's what you would change.
Yeah. It's like that's the reason why I became a director, or after long life of doing so many different random jobs.
What were the other jobs before you became a director?
Well, I was a tour guide in Las Vegas for about 2 months, between going to college in Utah to moving to LA.
Saw some crazy shit.
Yeah, I saw some crazy shit. I pick up one couple, they're all happy on honeymoon. 3 days later, they were getting ready to divorce. Or just, being tour guide in Vegas was crazy fun. I've sold salmon roll in the basement of the department, like ikura. Or I'll be selling shoes for banyan, for old people. Like I had this job when I was 19 that I just called mannequin. I would just go hop on different floors to work on different department store, but I have to pretend like I'm a pro at this. So I'm like, oh, Hokkaido, oishii ya, ikura ga oishii ya, kawatte haikite kite. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. That was you.
Yeah, that was me. And I'll go upstairs, it's like, oh, I just came back from Italy. I know everything about your banyans. Let me take a look at it. Oh, you should put these shoes on. And then I worked at the gas station. That was my first job as a 16-year-old. My parents my parents got divorced. My grandparents owned a mill factory, and we used to make little parts for the car engine parts for Toyotas and Hondas. So we're pressing metals, as a kid, and just doing the whole thing, the child labor, it's free for them. That doesn't fly now. But even being here, I just did everything. I was a photographer at one point, professional, shooting everything I can shoot to make money under the table.
And then what made you decide, fuck it, I want to start making film?
I think so. When I came here to LA, I studied theater, dance, fine arts, and music in undergrad. I started singing as a kid, so that was kind of my way into talking about expressing my art. I studied the music was something that I really took it to the heart, and it really helped me from just being this like having anxiety of like I feel like I can do something more than pressing metals, right? For example, and then after moving to America, did the whole thing, and then came to LA. I was auditioning, and then when I didn't have a visa, I have to make money. The only thing I can do is to get cash. So I started taking pictures of my friends who are photographers, or my friends who are actors or fashion designer. So that was kind of a random thing, and I loved it so much, and I just kept going. I started shooting weddings, bar mitzvah, funeral, birthdays, like anything you want. And when I was doing it, I really felt like I was being able to connect with people through the viewfinder. Like, I'm shooting 300 millimeters and they're right there. And I just really loved that moment, capturing that moment. And it just went on, became a hip hop photographer. I shot Nas, Tribe Called Quest, Eminem, and all that fun stuff. A lot of great artists. Yeah, so I did that, and it was really, for me, at one point, like hip hop was great. I had a great time, but just money wasn't coming around, right? It's just so hard to be a photographer, to make a living. And when I had a visa, I was able to auditions, and I danced with George Michael's music video. I was in Ziggy Marley's music video, like doing the whole sorts of things. But that's also stopped because I wasn't young anymore. And there's one director that I really loved, Jeff Price. He was a commercial director, and he's still a filmmaker, incredible filmmaker. I saw him just grabbing a camera and shooting while he directs, right, commercials. We worked on the Coca-Cola commercial one time, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like he's directing, but he's also shooting, and that's kind of what I want to do. So I think around 29, 30, I said I need to do something different with my life, and then I felt like I've tried everything. Like I've sold my paintings at the cafe one point, and just felt like filmmaking just like popped in my head, and I took a test and. I didn't think I was gonna got into school, USC, and it just, it was closest to my house. It was like, I can at least hitchhike there. I only had 1 year of tuition though, that I saved up. So second year, I was like, okay, it's time to figure out, like, I don't know how to finish school, but school helped us, and I got a scholarship from,
You're a Trojan.
Trojan, yeah. Frank Sinatra's family, thank you. I really appreciate you. And then, just kept going. Tour guide to this,
Amazing.
Yeah. So I think I really like telling a story. And then I think me being a director is almost like a luck, I felt like if you talk about universe, I think they really put me into the place. And I learned so much about life and so much about all this is.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Well, so, yeah. And then now rental family, right? I feel like at least if this was giving me, then at least I want to share this, whatever this is.
Well, you're telling a story that I would say most Americans or people in the Western world have no idea that it actually is a real thing.
Yeah.
So, and as people know more and more about Japan, because everybody wants to go to Japan, which is weird to me.
Yeah. True. But I think it's the story, I think it talks about a little bit of, just, I guess, epidemic of loneliness to, not to go to the deeper area. But for me, it's really about this connection, because we've been so isolated through pandemic to now technology. We're always here. And like, what is this? Where this is really what's important, right? Having meal together. And then really finding who you are, just trusting yourself is kind of like ultimate message. You can create family through your friends, If you have a problem with your family members, and then it's okay, You look around and your best friend is your family, right? So how do you see it? We just have to be really open to that idea and instead of sending the negative energy, because Asian families like, oh, why my dad didn't do this and da 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 da, my mom is this all the time, and I think it's time to step away from that energy and just do our own thing,
I think you need to run for Premier of Japan. That's your next move.
That's my next
From
move,
Las
baby.
Vegas tour guide to director to
Yeah.
Premier
Who knows?
Hikari.
Who knows? Premier, yeah.
All right.
Who knows? Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining. Glad
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Arigato. I want to
tasted-
finish this.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So when I was cooking this earlier, I don't know if the film caught that, I did a tester piece. And it was while it was at 350 degrees, maybe it got to 375, 400. And that's what happened. And it was raw in the center. Now it's cooked through, but this is, the sugars caramelize so quickly that nothing else can actually cook interior-wise. And when you fry it, you're really steaming it in from the inside out. And I knew it was too hot, but one of the things I wanted for sure was, I bet you it was like 375, 400. But because it's such a small pot and because I was using such a little amount of oil, and well, I probably used maybe 2 cups of oil, the temperature is going to drop once I add all the chicken in. So I was hoping to get it to around 400, 425, knowing that once I added half of the chicken, it was going to go probably back down to 325. And I think that the capture of that on video would show that it started to like lightly and slowly get brown. But initially, it was this. So it worked out in my favor. Even though I was eyeing the whole thing, I knew it was going to work. This came out way better than I expected. Yeah, I mean, listen, I use our chili crunch all the time, but I probably would have preferred to have used gochugaru, like the Korean dried chili pepper, or even a fresh chili like Anaheim that's just got a little bit of heat. Or any chili would have worked, with the exception of, say, habanero Scotch bonnet, because that's too forward hot on your palate. But the chili crunch really worked out well. It has a lot of other flavors into it, but really delicious. And this, I turned off the steam pressure on this when Hikari was sitting down because it produces so much noise that I just took it off the lid and cooked it over sort of medium heat for another hour, and it came out just about right. And I'll cut into this in a second. I might even do this. That would be this. That is fucking delicious. I mean, it's one of the easiest ways to cook pork belly, even shoulder, because, again, that ginger sort of marries well with the pork flavor, which can be, again, very aggressive, sweet, salt, umami, and this is great. So I wish Hikari got to taste this, but I think the team here, we'll get into it in a second. No food's gonna go to waste. Anyway, we're gonna get an Ask Dave. We're here in the studio. We'll do Irrational Dinner Conversations, the IDC. Anyway.
Inappropriate.
Inappropriate dinner conversations. Wow. Might as well just call it irrational.
Irrational, yeah.
Anyway, this is a
Name.
producer, young David, and he's eating some of the food that I just made.
I am,
Hikari, who
and
left.
it's very good.
And so, this is theoretically it. He's going to ask an Ask Dave, and then I'm going to ask him some questions that only like a Gen Z motherfucker would know. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, you're a Gen Z.
I am.
The worst generation.
So far. Today's Ask Dave. Noah from North Versailles, Pennsylvania. MDM level, in my head, a 9, but in reality, a 3. So I respect that realization. Noah's favorite dish to make is pasta with homemade noodles and homemade sauce. Noah's favorite meals have been at Morcia and Dianoia's in Pittsburgh, or just any street food stand he's had in Asia. And his question is about knives specifically. Should you spend top dollar for a whole set? Just go piece by piece? And then what's your sharpening process if you're a home cook?
It's a good question, Noah. And I have some predictive powers here that you may also be in need of learning how to cook some pasta. But I think that this person, I like that he didn't give me a specific to the pasta or pasta sauce, which also means he may know nothing or he knows too much. So I like that I have to guess. I have only spent a couple days in Pittsburgh, and I need to learn more about the culinary celebrations that are in Pittsburgh. But I think sharpening a knife is probably the most important thing before buying a new knife. Learn how to sharpen your knife. Get a whetstone, 1,000 grade. Don't use the stone that is like a can opener and you drag your knife through. Do that first. Before buying any new knife, just look at what you have. And again, don't buy a molybdenum steel like a Global, which are fine knives, but they're very, very difficult to sharpen. And again, most green markets, at least here in California and New York, have a like a portable knife sharpening like truck. So you just do that. I'm sure there's some service that just picks it up for you too, but you should sharpen your knives regularly. Some of the worst cuts can happen because you have a dull knife. It seems counterintuitive. If you're going to cut yourself, you want a razor sharp knife, not something that's blunt. That's how cuts can get very, very bad. And you don't need that many knives. You need a chef's knife, whether it's traditional French or the curved Western Japanese hybrid, serrated, and a paring knife. But really, you just need a good, sturdy chef's knife to start. You can buy those kits. If I was going to buy a whole set, I'd probably buy a Wusthof or a Henckels or one of those brands. I'd probably shy away from doing the Japanese version. And I think that, sharpening Japanese knives is more difficult than people realize. So if you are going to do it, it's probably a good idea to let a professional do it. But a lot of the professional knife sharpeners, unless they are sort of Japanese trained, don't know how to sharpen. You can really fuck up a nice Japanese knife. I don't know any cook that's not true. I know some professionals over the years, because they have fucked up the knife themselves, had it reshaped and resharpened. Remember that a steel just sort of straightens out the sort of very, very, very thin blade, because every time you cut, you start to bend that blade out of shape. Does not sharpen. It feels sharpened mainly because that blade gets back into place. But no, you don't need a fancy knife. And Japanese knives are not 50-50. So if you buy a French style knife, it's beveled to be equal sides. So if you sharpen it, it's 50% one side, 50% equal on the other. Japanese knife is closer to 90-10. And it takes a while. So if you are going to learn how to sharpen your knife and you do want to buy a Japanese knife, don't buy a carbon steel as your first knife, which are much easier steel to sharpen. Buy... I just can't recommend. It's like Wirecutter said the best knife to buy for a home cook is a Mac knife, which I cannot recommend because it just doesn't make sense in terms of how they got that information and why it works. I think that a Japanese knife is way more difficult for a home cook to keep sharp. And I think that a Western style knife is fantastic. So all you need is a sharp blade, and learn on a cheaper knife how to sharpen, because I feel like every cook I know that's still cooking has fucked up some knives along the way. I certainly have. And the best way to get better at sharpening a knife is by ruining some knives. Thank you, Noah.
Yeah.
And we're going to do inappropriate dinner conversation right now.
You got the yips.
Is it? Is it the yips?
I don't know.
Why am I saying irrational?
I don't know. Unless you're about to ask some irrational things.
Well, you're technically eating.
Yeah.
People know nothing about you.
People know a few things.
Yeah, you're Chicago. You're an author, published author. What was the title of your book?
5 Minutes from a Meltdown.
What's it about?
It's a comedic poetry collection.
He's not making that up, folks.
No.
So I have some questions for you to ask. So as a 27-year-old, you probably have some friends that, where'd you go to college? Tufts?
Tufts.
So yeah, you got some pretty ambitious, smart kids that graduated. Some became bankers. Some probably made. I'm sure, like at your age, some have made a lot of money, and some have made no money. When you go out with your friends that have made a lot of money, that are like, you're like, I can't believe my friend's making this much money. Who picks up the check? Or you still Venmoing it? Like,
And we're still in that phase. We actually have gotten to the point because of certain friends of mine who are so obsessed with credit card points, where like people will vie not to split the check, but to get the check and then receive the Venmos so that they can get whatever miles or points on the credit card.
and you're friends with these people?
I am friends with these people, but no,
it's like literally like talking to an alien right now. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, we're definitely still in the splitting phase, and it's usually an even split, but depends on.
So let's just say one of your friends invents like the next app that gets sold for billions of dollars, and then this person still splits the check with all of you guys. Are you like, what the fuck? I would be like, what the fuck?
If it's one of my friends who is gonna get rich quick and then suddenly doesn't know what to do with it, like I think I'm okay splitting the check as long as I know like he's gonna throw me a bone and bring me to the Lakers game a few weeks down the line.
Will Godero, who's been on, our friend, he does what I do, and when we're eating together, it becomes competition. But just to make it easier, even if there are people that might be, well, it's just pay for the bill, It's always a pain in the ass when you have to split it. But I'm friends with somebody that is friends with my friend, good friend, is friends with one of the, I would say, top 10 wealthiest people in the world.
Yeah.
And they go out to dinner quite a bit. And every time they're at the dinner, they split the check. And it doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I
understand the principle of it all. I was also told that this person, when they go out with their friends from growing up, and they do these trips together, that they always split everything. I think that is pathologically weird. Follow up to your generation question. Is it true that your younger generation friends, your Gen Z friends, when they go to a bar, they don't leave a tab? They pay for each drink as they go? If that's true,
that is for the most part true.
Oh my good Lord.
I actually think, funnily enough,
fucking the world is going to end.
Well, it goes in line with what you say because it goes exactly hand in hand with the fact that people aren't drinking as much. It used to be a tab because you're getting, like, you don't know how many drinks you're getting, but a lot of my friends go out and they're like, I'm only having 1 or 2 tonight. So it's like, why not pay for, well, like one at a time if you're only going to drink once.
1 or 2 bottles.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying that part has changed for sure.
Fucking lame. You're shaking your head over there too, right? It's crazy. What is wrong with you guys? Stop it. It's part of growing up as an adult to wake up hungover and realize, oh fuck, I bet you somebody charged like $300 to my card, and then to wait for an hour to try to call the bar to get your card back. I do have a friend. To go to said bar at like 3 p.m. to get your card back. That is a rite of passage. So I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. That's so un-American.
I do have a friend who is known at the Venice Whaler, that bar, because for a time, every single weekend, he would leave his card for months.
So what's the point? Like, are you guys not buying rounds for each other?
No, I think it's a you buy a round, but you close out.
Man, I feel bad for bartenders everywhere.
No, it's rough out there for them, and I have a lot of friends who are bartenders.
And all you guys are
They're not
Venmoing
happy
each other.
Either.
I don't have Venmo. You know why? I have a gambling problem, so I'm not allowed to have Venmo. But even still, like, don't Venmo me. It's like it's a fucking beer. Just give me another day. Who gives a shit?
We're aligned on that. I think in those equations they actually do add up. It's not we won't split the bill at a bar, but we will for a dinner. The bar thing is very much you get the next
I understand
one.
People aren't drinking as much.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But when you do go to a bar, you should drink a lot. And you should forget your credit card. You should feel what that's like.
I have friends who are very validated by that take, and you're talking to the wrong guy.
I'm not saying everybody has to do it, but I don't trust you. It's like I don't want to trust a close friend of mine if they've never gotten drunk unless for religious, I don't even know those fucking people. Just like I don't know, I need to trust people in my life that have done terribly dumb things.
Oh, well, there's still no shortage of that.
I don't know. This is very suspect.
It's also,
you might be a narc.
It's harder to make mistakes now in the it's always recorded thing. Like, I think that's a general Gen Z fear, is the like, oh, I did have a crazy night where I blacked out, and like now everyone
I bet you
is
your
gonna
blacking
see
out
it.
is like not even really blacking out.
No, my blacking out is very silly. It's like you're blacking out, what you were saying, where you reach that point where you're just like, I'm a little sillier.
My blacking out is waking up in places I don't know.
That's after you're blacking out, but during your blacking out.
No. All right, we're moving on.
I'm quoting
We're
you
moving
to
on. We're
yourself.
moving on. You go on a date, or you want to go on a date. You set up a date, and it's your first date,
Mhm.
and you think that everything's copacetic with said date.
Yeah.
And you choose a meeting spot, whether it's a movie, a bar where you're gonna not leave a tab,
Yeah.
whatever. And said date ghosts you.
Mhm.
What do you do? How long till you text them?
I'm fully on board for the you gotta at least reconfirm the date, if not the night before that day.
Fine,
of.
then they still don't come. Do you say like, okay, I guess I get the message, or you're like, are you concerned? Like maybe something happened to them? Because like if it was me, I'd be like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I think generally the if you didn't show up to the date and we did reconfirm, probably you just gotta let that one go.
So you're not going to try to reach out to them. But
Probably
I feel like the
not.
younger generation might be more willing to reach out to somebody. Am I wrong in making that assumption?
I think my initial response a few years ago would have been to reach out again, and I just think at this point, enough friends have been like, "What are you doing?"
But ghosting in real life is it happens all the time, right?
Constantly.
What is up with that? Like I've talked to younger people like yourself that go on dates,
Mhm.
and whether on Tinder or all these fucking apps, and they're like, it happens all the time. It happens to girls too.
Yeah, no, ghosting, it's an
Like
across the board thing.
I just can't even understand it. I could understand a guy getting ghosted, right?
Yeah.
By but I have a hard time understanding like a guy not showing up to a date.
I mean, the situation, again, I don't think if you confirm that you can just not show up to the date and not say anything, that's crazy. But like, there are different situations where people will ghost, but at the same time, it's also like I don't know, when I was applying for jobs for most of my life, like the expectation is you never even get an email back or a call back or any of that. So it's like, it has extended beyond dating across the board. It's like you
follow up question, counsel. Follow up question to this.
Allowed.
You find out that said date that ghosted you actually explains that they had a legitimate excuse.
Yeah.
Do you go on another date?
100%.
What do you do?
Yeah, legitimate excuse. Yeah.
How do you know it's legitimate?
Well, that you have to suss that on the date.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Even in the
immediately you're like, yeah, I'm in.
No,
you're crazy.
No, as soon as someone gives if there's a somewhat reasonable explanation, but they have reached out again, it's because again, I'm not following up. But if someone hasn't showed up and they send a text the next day that's like, hey, I'm so sorry.
What if you find out?
Happened.
What if you find out that this person went on another date only to find out that date was terrible, and they were like, oh, might as well give you a shot. That would suck.
That would suck. That would crack me up a little, but that would suck.
All right. Follow up to this. Follow up. You're now dating this girl or guy, whatever. I don't want to make any assumptions here. You're now dating this person that ghosted you, and it was a legitimate excuse.
Yeah.
They come over to your apartment home for the first time. And it's the first time where you're not going to order Postmates or DoorDash. You're going to cook. What are you going to make for them? This is a very, very telling question, sir. Because let me just state this for the record, for those that are listening. When we had Co. and we first opened up and it was impossible to get a reservation, I saw so many dudes, because people were scalping these reservations, try to secure a seat at the counter, and then bring in, because they've been immediately, you can tell they were in the friend zone immediately, and they bring in somebody way out of the fucking league, and we would always talk about it. The team would be like, dude, this guy's got no fucking chance, 0 chance, and we would see this time and time and time again. I was like, holy shit. And I know that's like too far out in the sense that I was talking about bringing someone to your house, but it's the same sort of principle where it's just trying too hard.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta relax. So you can't do something that's so lowbrow. You can't make them box mac and cheese.
It's a sandwich. It's a chicken brie arugula apricot jam sandwich.
Bro.
It's good. Trust me.
I feel like I'm Will Smith in Hitch. I gotta coach you through this.
I'm telling you.
You can't make that.
I'm sure it can be better. I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm just saying sophisticated.
That's your first volley?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Other than that, it's something I've never made before, and I will fuck up.
That's why I'm asking you. It's like, no wonder you're being ghosted.
I'm not being ghosted. Who's putting me? I'm the one who's buying people rounds.
You cannot make that sandwich. First of all, you can't put... What cranberries? Are you putting craisins in your sandwich?
No, not cranberries. Apricot jam. Preserves.
You actually have apricot jam at home? Who has such things? Who taught you this sandwich?
Like apricot jam. I had it at a restaurant once, and I was like, "This is pretty good." And then I made it at home.
You mean Panera bread?
Probably. No.
So what kind of bread?
I like focaccia.
Where are you getting focaccia?
The store.
What store?
I mean, I live near a bunch of different bread places.
Yeah, what kind of focaccia? This is important.
What kind
are you getting
of
like Felix Trattoria focaccia, or you getting Nancy?
No, I'm
Summer?
not trying that hard.
All right. Are
you
you getting Trader Joe's focaccia?
Or like Pavilions or something? Yeah,
okay.
I live next to Pavilions.
Did you say you put chicken in there?
Mm-hmm.
Chicken breast?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
We heard Molly from
People
the back.
Rolling. What are you doing?
I'm cutting this from the podcast.
No way. Chicken breast baked? What are you putting, like Pam olive oil and then baking it in aluminum foil? What are you doing to
No,
this
I'm
chicken?
marinating it
In
first.
what?
It's
You left out. You're leaving out all the fucking. So like a forensic analysis. I am judging everything about you right now.
Well, I know.
Ways. So what are you marinating it?
We got hot sauce.
So are you making it spicy? Or a little spicy?
A little spicy.
Okay, what else is in the marinade?
I mean, aromatics, whatever's in the house.
Aromatics? What?
I'm putting I'll have onion and scallions and garlic and whatever's in the fridge of that stuff.
Are you blending that up? Are you chopping it up? How is this being marinated?
Chopping finely and throwing it in there.
Okay.
There's a little vanilla. I knew that one would break your brain.
Dude. Vanilla extract?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So you're marinating just raw dog chicken breast in fucking Fresno hot sauce. No skin on the chicken breast. No, not off the bone. Is there salt and pepper?
Yeah, of course.
Salt, pepper, finely chopped scallions, onions, and shit.
Yeah, garlic, ginger maybe,
and
if it's in the fridge,
vanilla extract.
This much.
Okay, I'm like fucking flabbergasted right now. I'm so glad we're asking this fucking question because this is crazy.
We've gone from inappropriate dinner conversations to irrational.
Yeah, this is now irrational. All right, so what's the next thing? So it's on focaccia. You got this fucking terribly marinated chicken breast.
Yeah.
See? Okay, next. Apricot jam. What else?
Arugula.
Are you making this shit up? I don't even know if this is real.
I've only made this twice.
Yeah, you should never make it again. Ever. What else is in there?
That's it.
Brie. You said brie.
Oh, yeah.
What are you leaving the rind on the brie, or are you just taking the inside out?
No, taking the inside out, and then you're putting it on the bread. No rind. And then
there's no... What are the condiments? Any condiments, or is just brie as the condiment?
And mayo.
You are putting mayonnaise on it?
Or butter on the bread.
God, thank God. I'm getting cotton mouth just thinking about this sandwich.
Oh, it's dry.
What? You can't make this, man. I'm
I
glad.
haven't
I'm
made
here
it
to
in years.
help you.
I haven't made this in years.
I'm here to help you. So what I was going to say is one of the few things that I find to be very accurate in the movie Chef, Jon Favreau's Chef, besides him maybe not really hooking up with Scarlett Johansson and also Sofia Vergara, is Roy was making, I love you, John, aglio olio.
Yeah.
Or cacio e pepe. That's it. That's all you have.
I've also made pasta for a first date.
But you just whipped this fucking crazy ass.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's not fun.
It is
that's
fun.
A nightmare. I'm just saying.
It's gotten okay reviews.
I'm sure they're saying okay reviews about everything else too.
Thank you.
Aglio olio is something that anyone can make. It's ingredients that anybody should have. And cacio e pepe, as simple as that. That is the best late night. Also, just a quick snack. Just master that. You're good. Do not make the sandwich, listeners. What do you name the sandwich? The closer?
It has no name.
Jesus Christ, man.
Sandwich that must not be named.
So the sandwich has worked successfully for you?
Hmm?
I don't believe you. Does anyone believe him? Nobody here believes you, David. Can we talk? Can we find?
I'm cutting this from the podcast, but we can call. we can call.
It'll be like
call,
we can call the guy as Can we actually talk to this person? Are you friends with this person still?
Not really. No.
Oh shit. We can't not. We're keeping this in. Okay, one more question. Two more, really. When you tell somebody that you're 5 minutes away, how often are you actually 5 minutes away?
I never send that text.
Never?
I'm always early. It's like, I mean, seriously, I am always 10, 15 minutes early.
Okay.
But the answer for my friends, they're 30 minutes away.
5 minutes does not mean 30
minutes. 5 minutes does. It's like, yeah, I'm at least 20 minutes away.
Okay. You're getting some respectability points back for that honest answer.
I'm always on time.
Last question. If someone posts a photo of your group of friends at dinner, but they don't tag you in it, do you mention it? Do you let it go? Or are you now asking other friends, like, did I fucking do something wrong?
I am never seeing that photo.
What do you mean?
I don't use social media. I don't care.
You're not on social media?
Probably once. I'm on the Dave Chang Show on Instagram.
So you as a young person, you don't use social media?
Nightmare. That whole place, it's a cesspool. I'm on the Dave Chang Show TikTok. You should all follow and subscribe to the Dave Chang Show Instagram and the Dave Chang Show TikTok.
All right.
And I can't even scroll. I can't even scroll on TikTok. Like it innately hurts me.
Who are you? You might be a narc.
A narc?
Yeah, I don't understand the sandwich thing.
The sandwich thing.
And that you don't leave a tab and you don't use social media. You're an enigma. You're a true enigma.
Not the first person to call me that.
Well, that's it, folks. Give us 5 stars. And thank you, young David. Thank you for sharing your dating life. We're not editing that shit out.